Spectre is once again directed by Sam Mendes and stars Daniel Craig, Lea Seydoux, and Christopher Waltz, and tells the story of James Bond receiving a message from M, and this was before her death, about looking into a secret organization called Spectre. He uncovers some mysteries around the organization, but those mysteries lead to some personal discoveries for James Bond's life that he needs to try and keep secret. This is basically talking the plot right now. The most standard James Bond film. The movie is a James Bond movie. It has gadgets, it has cool action sequences, it has a very mustache twirling villain played by Christopher Waltz, and he plays Yoderhauser, who had a personal connection with Bond, and in some ways it does feel disappointing. But overall, I still had a good time with the movie, but compared to movies like Casino Royale or Skyfall, this is definitely not among the best Bond films, or even the best of the Daniel Craig era. Though it is certainly better, miles better than Quantum of Solace, because it is a much better directed film, the writing is a much more consistent, and there isn't any terribly directed action sequences. All the action here is great, especially the opening scene in which there's a one-take shot in the Day of the Dead, which leads to a very cool chase scene to a helicopter, which leads to one of my favorite Bond title screens of all time. It was a beautiful opening scene and one of the best in any James Bond film. It's probably the best opening of any Bond film I've seen. But after that, the movie had a hard time picking up the momentum after that. The mystery aspect and the intrigue of this organization called Spectre was very intriguing. Lea Seydoux' character was very much entertaining, and while I did not completely buy into her character, she was important to the plot and for James Bond's character overall, and it served the story overall pretty well. She's just not among my favorite characters, or she did not leave that much of an impact. Hopefully that will change more in No Time to Die, which will conclude this Daniel Craig story arc. The performances are overall pretty good. As I said, Lea Seydoux is amazing in the film. Daniel Craig is once again great as Bond. I'm pretty sure he's always going to be great as Bond, especially tonight when I watch No Time to Die. Dave Bautista makes a cameo, a extended cameo basically. He doesn't talk, he's just like the brute force of the movie that James Bond has to fight once in a while. And there's a giant explosion film, I want to talk about this, that was actually real. It was like, it held the Guinness World Record, I believe, for like the biggest explosion, real life explosion in a film. And the shot in which it was framed in, it was amazing. All the filmmaking techniques here is great. In fact, I would say the filmmaking aspect of the movie is a whole lot better than Skyfall. But just the actual story and how certain mysteries unfold in the film just felt like a standard Bond movie. And while I do think that these stories could set up some great conclusions for the next chapter, as a part of this story, it just felt like a Bond thing that he has to deal with. And that's kind of like my biggest problem with the film. It's just that it felt like a standard Bond film. I think you could probably tell that's probably going to be a standard Bond film because the barrel roll sequence is the first thing you see. Like, it just is a standard barrel sequence that we see in every Bond film that opens up the movie. The best films in the Daniel Craig era are the ones that use the barrel roll sequence in much more memorable ways. But here it's a bit more typical that we've seen before in all the other movies. Not that the bad thing, because I still like the movie, and it doesn't like... And just because the barrel roll sequence is in the opening, is the first thing you see in the film, doesn't mean that the rest of the film is going to be horrible. No, nothing like that. But it does say a little bit that this is going to be more of a typical Bond movie, whereas something like Skyfall was like the 50th anniversary movie, so they saved that barrel roll sequence to last and after 50 years. And the Casino Royale one is to cleverly transition to the actual credits, which was very cool. But overall, I had a very good time with this movie. The action, as I said, was great. The directing is great. This is a beautiful looking movie. There's some cinematography shots that are absolutely breathtaking. There's actually a bit of suspense in the film, especially with the Spectre organization. Christopher Waltz is great as his character, and overall, I had a really good time with this movie, and I'm going to give Spectre a B. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment. No Time to Die is coming out soon. Expect that review tonight or tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.